Welcome to our webinar. Today's theme is work effectively from home. Due to the situation the whole world is in fact, we find out that we need this webinar to show you how you can work more effectively with BIM 360 from home. I will come more to the details. I have with me Thomas Nyrud. He's a senior consultant in Symmetry. And myself, Paul Hove, sales manager, and will organize the webinar. Feel free to ask questions during the webinar. We will try to answer during the presentation or at the end. And if you are not able to answer all the questions, we will pick it up and send you mail after the webinar. You can also contact your local Symmetry contact and ask questions and get advice from them. Yeah, there is some challenges these days. A lot of people are working from home. They are working with a VPN connection to their office, and that is going a bit slow. So it's not possible to work in the effective way you want. There's also a risk that models are out of sync because you have a slow connection. And yeah, there's some risks around the whole process, in fact. We will show you the easiest way to move your project from work sharing on a local server and into work sharing in the cloud. We will also tell you what you need to get started and how we in Symmetry can support you. And in the end of the webinar, it's very important that you stay on to the end, because Autodesk is on this case now and really looking into what they can do. And I think I have some good news at the end of the webinar, so stay with us. A bit of how it is working if you are working with a local server. Your Revit model is on a local server. You have your local copy of the Revit model. There is some traffic going on all the time, in fact, updating your model and the local server. There is some traffic here, and that's the reason why it is going a bit slow on the VPN connection. If you look at what we do in BIM 360, we are lifting everything up in the cloud. Instead of communicating via a VPN line, you synchronize and communicate directly on the network to the internet. There is also some traffic going on in this solution behind the scene, updating your local computer. Then you synchronize quite fast, because some of the information is already on your computer, and what the changes you have done will be synchronized to the BIM 360 cloud model. There's also a publish function. We will also show that it's important to publish from time to time, both if you want to share your data with other participants, or it's also important to publish just to more or less empty the model and synchronize the model with what's visible in the web portal. We will show you quite easy setup with only one discipline in this webinar. From the BIM 360 web portal, we will show you how you can add companies, add members, setting up the project, add modules. BIM 360 is built up with the modules. Docs and design is two of the modules. And if you want to look more into the rest of the modules in BIM 360, contact your local contact, and we will show you the details also on yours. But in this webinar, we will focus on docs and design. We will also show you how you can build up a good folder structure in BIM 360, or in fact, we are taking the folder structure from your local server where you have your work sharing model today. And in fact, we can use drag and drop to BIM 360, because you have something called Autodesk Desktop Connector, if you look in the button, which gives you a local drive. So So you can have one window with your local server and one window with the BIM 360 structure, and you can take the folders and documents and everything and drag to BIM 360. You can also take your documents. It doesn't have to be only the BIM 360 or the Revit model. It could also be other documents belonging to the project or not. When it comes to Revit, Thomas will show you how you can open your project from a local server, how you can establish work sharing model in the cloud, meaning moving it from local server to the BIM 360. How you can synchronize your model and then publish your model. We will also show how you can link in files. You have to establish the links again when you are moving it to BIM 360, so we will show that part as well. There's some preparations you need to do. You need a license on BIM 360. I will come back to how and what kind of licenses is available. And you also need to install the Autodesk desktop connector, because that gives you local drive on your computer. Then we are coming to the demo. I will start with showing you what you have to do in the portal of BIM 360. You will start in Account Admin. The first thing you do when you download, if you download a trial, you will establish an area where you have your projects. Name it with the company name or a name which is suitable for you. But that's the top level, and under that level you will have your projects. We will start with establishing the companies. This is our demo site, so it's a lot of companies here now, but in your case it will be empty. So start with making the companies you need. Fill in the company, maybe you need a logo, and everything with a star you have to fill out. The rest is up to you. It could be useful to have the address and that kind of things, but if it is your own company, a small project, maybe you can leave it out. That's up to you. Next thing you need to do is put in some members to the account. Just add, and you can select if you want normal members to the account or another account admin. In this case, I just select normal one. You put in a mail address, add, you select the default company, and you are up and going with more members in your project. Moving to the next step, set up your project. Select add again, and the same comes here with a star. You have to fill out. Let's call this demo. Design March 2020. You have to fill out a type in fact. I select office in this case. Construction type, you don't need it. Project value, it's up to you if you want to fill it out. There is no star with the project start date, but in fact, you have to fill it out. So I'll take a short period for this project. You can select an image. I still have an image of the project and the address. That's quite good to fill out the address because it's also used in the weather forecast. So you can, in BIM 360, you can see the weather at the site at the moment. But then you need a correct address, correct country, not the states. In this case, we are sitting in Norway. You also need the correct time zone because all activities is stored with the time when it happened. And if you have the wrong timing here, you can have some problems. So select the right time zone. That's all you have to do. Save and continue. Then we need some modules, as I said. We need document management. That's always the base in the system. And you have to start with document management. Don't start with design. You have to start with document management. Activate. You can select another project and take the structure from another project. It could be wise to have a template project, for example, that you can select each time. Then you have the structure ready. In this case, I'm not using that part because I want to start from scratch. When I start typing in my name, it's coming up with a suggestion. Same with the company. Save. This first time takes a little time, activating the first module. The rest goes quite fast. And it's important that you wait until this process is finished. Do not start activating another one before you have the first one. I've seen in some cases that that is not the best way of working. It's not taking a lot of time. In my home office, I do not have fiber here, so it's not that fast, but yeah, it's ready now. Then I can take the next one. Design collaboration is what I need. It's the same procedure. Save. And as you see, that one goes fast. Okay, that's all I need for this project. These two modules. Finish. And then I can go to the project itself. It was this one. As you can see, it's only me in the project now. I want to have access to everything here. And I want to have Thomas with me because we are sharing this project. So I select Thomas. He's already in the system. Just select company, signature. I can select a role. I didn't mention that in the start, but you can put up roles and you can select what kind of modules the different roles need. In this case, I just set him as a project admin. When I set both Thomas and me as project admin, we will have all rights in the system. If it's a small project with 1 or 2, 3 persons, that's okay. If it's a larger project, I advise to use the rights and the system in such a way that you only see what you need to see. But in this case, project admin, everybody. Add to the project. Then we have 2 members. If I now go to and see to the project itself, document management, it's empty. I have the companies, I have the users, I have the project. There's nothing in it. What we have done, it's not very much except what you saw now, but we made a project earlier today where we have already made one folder. That's quite easy to make a folder. Is just add subfolder or add folder, subfolder here. But now I will switch to Thomas, who will show you how we can build up the folder structure and what you need to do in Revit. Are you there, Thomas?
Yes, I am. Good. Okay, as Paul mentioned, I want to be able to keep my my folder structure, and I want to have that in my project. And as you also mentioned, I have the Autodesk desktop connector on my computer, and what that allows me to do is to have a server, which you see on the left, with the BIM 360. And in this server, I have all my projects. Right now, I'm in the same project, or this demo project called Demo Project Norway 2020. And inside that, I'm in the project files and architects. This is empty, as Paul showed. And what I'm going to do now is simply select my folders, and I'm going to drag them over to this server. is gonna work the background, and when it's finished, it's not obvious that it's finished because this does not refresh automatically. But if you refresh this one, you will see that the folder structure is there, and also within these folders there are some files, so that is included. Now I'm going to show you how to convert a central model from your local network into BIM 360. I'm now in Revit 2020, and I'm going to click open, and I'm going to look for my files. I have it in a folder, and this is the central model that I want to convert or to publish up into the cloud project. I simply now open it. Okay. And once I'm in, I can see that it's a central model by looking at the synchronize button, which is active. And if I go to collaborate, I now have the option to collaborate in the cloud, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click this, and what I'm displayed now is the area that I'm working in, which is Symmetry Europe. And inside there, I have all my projects. This is the one I'm working with now. And I have my project files and architects. And here you can again see the folders that I just put in. I can also here rename the project if I want to. I'm not going to do that, but I have the option. Hit initiate. And this process is going to take some time because it's the first time and it has to publish the whole model. So depending on the size of the model, it will vary in time, but yeah, it shouldn't take too much time. And as you probably know, at least in Norway, there is the internet speed is kind of limited, maybe that's the word. So, and I'm not sitting on a fiber connection, so just have to wait.
This waiting time is short compared to what you will face if you are working with a VPN line. So I think,
yeah.
Okay. This is one time when you upload the model.
Yeah. Yes. The first time it's going to take a bit, but yeah. There you have it. You have a successful upload. I'm going to close that one. And I'm going to do some changes. So let's say that I have deleted these ones, and I'm going to put in, I'm going to put in a door maybe. And once I'm finished and I want to synchronize, it's the same way as you have always done it with the synchronize button. You can do it from here, collaborate, synchronize, and modify settings. What is great now is the comment part. You can comment on any changes. So this comment will show if you have to recover the file at some point, and you have to look back at the previous versions. This comment will tell you what synchronize you did. So I'm going to show you. Click OK. And this will only this will synchronize the changes that have been made. So it shouldn't take too much time. There we go. As I mentioned, we have these manage cloud models. Normally you would have the show history, which displays the recent versions. But if I hit the manage cloud models, it will show me my projects. And inside that project, I have my file. And from here, I can view my versions. And there you have it. And there's the comment that I made, which is comment. Great. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like if I am a user and I want to work on this project. So I'm going to close this one. And instead of going to open the file that way, I can have a look at my Symmetry Europe from BIM 360 on the left. And here I have the same project. Clicking on that one, I can choose my project files, architect, and there I have the actual project. Clicking on it will open it. First time opening it, it could take a bit, but too long. Yes, there we go. And now I can continue work with the project. Now, once I'm done for the day, I want to publish the whole model up to the web, so that anyone that has access to the project can view the model or sheets or whatever they may want to view. So before I do that, I want to hit the publish settings, and inside here I can determine what the users are going to view or going to have a look at. So right now I've made a view called BIM 360, and I want to use that and only that view up in the web. So I'm going to make a new selection set. I'm going to call it BIM 360. Okay, I'm going to select it, and I'm going to select 3D views and BIM 360. So this is the only view that anyone would see in the web. So I'm going to hit save and close. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the home button up here. And I'm going to wait for it to load. There we go. And if you see here, I have an update available. So I've made changes and I want to publish the whole model again. So I have checked it and I'm going to hit publish and publish. So one last thing I have to make sure of is that my links are updated, because if I go into manage links and I see Revit, I have the ventilation here. It is still saved as on my local computer, on my local place. Yeah. So what I have to do now is to go to reload from. And I have to open my computer and the BIM 360 server. And again, Symmetry Europe, my project files, architect. And since this is from the ventilation, I'm going to go in here, click this one, open, and you will see on the saved path, it's going to change to BIM 360. There we go. And by doing this, I make sure that everyone from my company that is going to work on this file also has the links that are included in this model.
Yeah, I just want to pinpoint some of the benefits you're getting in addition to just moving your work sharing file from a local server to BIM 360. You will also now have everything available from anywhere at any time, if you are online or offline. If you are on your computer in the web browser, or if you are on a tablet, or if you are on your phone, you can have access to all your project data. You can also involve building owner directly in the project if you want to. You can share your product with the contractor, the construction site. You can bring your model, drawings, documentation, everything out to the construction site. You can communicate through the project, and then you have all the history also of the communication in the project. And you are sure that everybody have the same version of the data all the time. I told you that we have to look also into how you can get BIM 360 and the different options. I also told you that I will tell a bit about what Autodesk is doing, and I'm coming to that on the next slide. What you can do if you want to start right away, download a trial. You can follow this link or just Google BIM 360 design, and you will find the trial. What you can do is you can convert to a paid license before the end of the trial period. It's important to do it before the end of the trial period, otherwise your project will stop in fact. So you have to do it in time. You can also subscribe on a monthly basis or on annual basis, and you can change if you start with monthly basis and see, okay, this is the solution for me. Then you just change to an annual basis after a while. Or you can add the licenses into your existing contract and then prorate for the rest of the period of that contract. I told you that I will tell you a bit about what Autodesk is doing. Within a few days, they will give information on how you can get free access to some selected Autodesk products, including BIM 360 Docs and Design. That's meaning they are extending access to the program until May 31. And that means, again, same as with the trial, be sure you are contacting people in Symmetry and getting a license before it is ending, but you have a longer period here. Autodesk is really looking into how they can support the situation in a good way that we are up in now, same we do in Symmetry. So please take a look at this link. If you start a trial today, I'm quite sure that we can extend it to the May 31. Before I'm saying thank you, I got a message from Thomas here that we can now look into the project. It's now in the web browser. He updated it in version 3. So anyone can go with a web browser or your phone or tablet and go into the project and look at it. I can see that you published the changed part of it, Thomas, but that's okay.
Yep.
That's all we have for today. If you want more information, please contact your local Symmetry office or send a mail to info@symmetry.com. You can also see our mail addresses in the bottom now. I will now see if there is some questions. Wasn't BIM 360 included in the AEC subscription? No, it is not included in the AEC collection, if that was what you mean. BIM 360 is an additional application, but it's not included in the AEC collection. It's right that the solution that was before BIM 360, BIM 360 Design and Docs, there was a solution called BIM 360 Team. That one was included for a while, but not at the moment. No. That's the only question I can see at the moment. So I just then say thank you for participation. Take care and have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.